Hi, good morning, good afternoon, or evening. Thank you for joining our webinar. Today, we will talk more about the full-time Master of Science in Management. My name is Wendy Becquet, and together with my colleague Naomi Flipse, we are program advisors for this study. So now that you know a bit more about us, we would love to know more about you. So please write in the chat where you're from, and if you want to turn on your camera, feel free to do so. We would love to have a bit more of interaction. Okay, people are not writing in the chat, but that's okay. I assume you're a bit everywhere in the world. I see people from the Netherlands. Well, let's go on. What are we going to discuss today? Well, first of all, we're going to talk more about the Netherlands, Nyenrode Business University, the study itself, the investment, and then we're going to have a Q&A. So if you have any questions, please feel free to write them in the chat, and we will make sure to address them at the end of the webinar during the Q&A. So where are we located? We are located in the Netherlands. Where is the Netherlands? The Netherlands is bordering Germany and Belgium, right there. But where is Nyenrode located more specifically? We're located in Amsterdam, the city center of the Netherlands, and Breukelen, a small city next to Utrecht. They're around 40 to 50 minutes apart by train. So you might think, why would I want to study in the Netherlands? Well, one of the biggest advantages is the one-year orientation visa after your master's study. It is a great way to kickstart your career in the Netherlands. Second, 94% of the population speaks English. This will help you with the integration within the country. Also, the Netherlands have a large growing economy, and we are the 10th happiest country in the world. Who wouldn't want to live in a happy country? But let's go more about Nyenrode Business University. Nyenrode Business University is a private accredited research university. We're the only private university in the Netherlands. We were created in 1946, 1 year after the Second World War, by businesses such as KLM, Unilever, Shell, and their goal was to create a generation of young leaders. In other words, for businesses. For Nyenrode, personal development is very important. We are #1 master in the Netherlands, and we're top 53 Master of Management worldwide. So now that we have talked more about the Netherlands and we have talked more about why studying here and at the university, let's go on about the academic program. But first, I would like to show you a short video.
Do you want to take your management skills to the next level? Nyenrode's full-time Master of Science in Management offers you everything you need. With 2 Nyenrode locations, you can either choose vibrant city life in Amsterdam or campus life in Breukelen. Our 16-month program starts with the pre-master, a 4-month boot camp focusing on the foundations of management and getting you ready for the required academic level of the masters. For a perfect start, you can also join our 2-week summer course to freshen up your knowledge and get to know your classmates. After getting the pre-master certificate, you will deepen your knowledge in the 12-month master phase by joining the main courses Management Science and Operations and Supply Chain Management. You will also gain some general knowledge on specific topics. After this, you can choose one of 3 specialization tracks. The Global Business track is focused on international operating companies. With Digital Business and Innovation, you focus on becoming the intermediary between business and digitization. The Financial Management track specializes in advanced financial knowledge, from sustainability to structuring deals. All tracks will have our Global Immersion module, in which we visit companies, universities, and join lectures, gaining even more practical knowledge. At Nyenrode, we greatly value hard and soft skills. That's why we provide a unique personal leadership and career development program throughout the master phase. You will choose one of our core values: leadership, entrepreneurship, or stewardship and work together with stakeholders. The last phase will be your individual research, thesis, and defense. Next step, graduation. You are ready for a leading role in tomorrow's business world. So, come join our Nyenrode community and start your journey now.
Okay, that was a lot of information, I know. So let's do a short summary of what you have just seen with important facts. So as you know, this is a full-time Master of Science in Management study, 16 months, fully taught in English. This is possible in 2 locations, in Breukelen and in Amsterdam. It is exactly the same program, but 2 entirely different student experience. In Breukelen, it's more of a campus life where people eat together, study together, sport together. At Amsterdam campus, you're more independent and it's more the traditional university life. Further, we have a strong academic knowledge and practical relevance, small classes, and personal approach. This means that people know each other by name. During your master, you can also choose a specialization. And at the end of that specialization, you can go on a global immersion program. You will go abroad for 1 week. We are also very proud of our strong alumni network. We have alumni in 100 different countries in the world. Last but not least, we have guaranteed housing in both locations. This is a very important point to keep in mind, guaranteed housing. I can tell you so much more about the program, but let's talk to someone who's actually done it. So first, I would like to introduce you to Floris Oud. Hi, Floris.
Hi, Wendy.
Could you briefly introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, of course. My name is Floris Oud. I'm an alumnus of the class of 2022. I started in 2020, and I'm currently in the process of taking over the family business.
Okay, and why did you choose for Nyenrode?
I love the community-style program that you offer, the small university where the professors know you by name and you know all your classmates. That was something that I really enjoyed.
Okay, well, that's very nice to hear. We also have a second alumni, and she joined us online today. She joined from Seoul. Her name is Lucia. Hi, Lucia, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Oh, perfect. Hi, Lucia. Could you maybe shortly introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Lucia Choi. I was in MSc 26, so I studied there from 2017 to 2019. Currently, I also work there as a marketing in the marketing department, so I am quite a product of Nyenrode, I would say. And currently, I am an English instructor in South Korea.
Okay, and can I ask you why you chose for Nyenrode?
Back then, I really wanted to find a school that could be a gateway for me to the Dutch labor market. And the whole alumni network was also quite impressive. And I agree with what Louis said.
Yeah.
Like there was a small scale university that I could really get integrated with the Dutch culture. And I think it would be a great place for me to get trained to become a person that is ready for the Dutch society.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Back to you, Floris. Could you tell us which specialization you chose and tell us briefly something about it?
I did the global business specialization. The reason I chose it is because in the West we tend to live in our own bubble, and I thought it would be good to see what the world had to offer. One particular lecture I really enjoyed was the new economic power lecture. That was about the new economic powers that are coming up and challenging the West in their economic position in the world.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And did you also go on a global immersion program?
Yes, I was on Nyenrode during COVID, so it was a bit different than normal. But with the help of the connections of the lecturers, we had a fantastic week in Milan, in Italy. We visited a car manufacturer of sport cars and a Parmesan cheese factory. And they both gave us also presentations on how their business model worked. So we really dived into their businesses. It was not just a visitation, but also a interactive session. And the rest of the week we collaborated with the University of Milan, and we had a very nice program in addition to the program we already get on Nyenrode, of course.
Okay, very nice. What about you, Lucia? Sorry. Which specialization did you choose?
I chose the digital specialization.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it very much, and we learned a lot about digital transformation. The digital transformation was a big hype back then. We learned also about a lot of platforms and blockchains, and we were being trained as a mediator in between the Department of IT and business. So we also needed to have an idea and concept about what IT people do, but also we needed to learn how that could be integrated into the business side and make profit for the companies. So
Oh,
that's what we have learned. Yeah.
very interesting.
And what I Yes, and what I really liked about the digital track, digital specialization, is actually all the professors were very open-minded. They embraced all kinds of ideas or requests that we had. So if, for example, one day we really wanted to visit another company during our last couple of classes, and our professor actually managed to go for a company visit for us, which was KLM, and we learned a lot about the agility happening in the KLM business. So yes, I really enjoyed the track.
That sounds very interesting. And did you also do a global immersion program?
Yes, unfortunately, I don't know if it's an unfortunate, but we went to a little bit of people might say, why would you go there? But we went to Finland, and in Finland there were actually a lot of startups that were there, so that was quite interesting. And they had the Rolls-Royce ship company there, and we could actually visit the place and see the digital transformation going on during the shipbuildings and everything like that. But I can talk about this a little bit more because last year the digital track came to South Korea, and I actually instructed them during the whole travel. And they had a chance to visit LG or all kinds of startups here, and they really experienced the whole digitalized city. So how digitalized it is, and I think it's a really nice program. It's really a chance to widen your eyes about what you have learned.
Very interesting. And a few weeks ago, we also talked, and you said that the PLCD, so Personal Leadership and Career Development classes, were very useful to you. Can you maybe tell us why?
During the personal development courses, I think the two things I can talk to you, like first thing would be the group sessions. So you get into a group of people, and you also a coach is assigned for you, and coaches are normally one of the alumni. So and they really help you solve your own problems. They ask you critical questions for you uh, to really get over your feelings, get over your personal problems, or even academic problems. So that really helped me a lot just to spit out my problems with other people. And also there was a coach that could give some advice for me. I really liked that part. And also, I really enjoyed. At first, I was thinking, why would I need to write like a paper like this in my graduation level in my grad school? But I really enjoyed the reflection papers in the end, because that reflection paper really helped me a lot about to think about myself a lot, and what kind of person I really want to be, and what kind of job that I want to get. And in the end, I found out I'm more of a stewardship person. Like I really want to go into if I want to build my career, I really want to build my stewardship in that case. So I kind of left the business world, and I become an instructor, and I actually manage my own class, own students, and we have own school study materials, so that really helped me a lot. Yeah.
Okay, well, it's great to hear that such courses really helps you find your way. Well, we're going to continue. We're going to show you first a short video of the Amsterdam campus. Hi, so that was a short video of Amsterdam and the experience in Amsterdam. So Amsterdam offers a student a more traditional way of studying. You're located in the city center of Amsterdam. There's also a business incubator where all the entrepreneurial alumni can come back and have a startup. And we also have a student association called the JCV. I can tell you all about Amsterdam, but we have an alumni right here who studied himself in Amsterdam.
That's correct.
Can you maybe tell us more about Amsterdam?
Well, Amsterdam is a very nice place to study as a city. It's a very international city, so that's something to keep in mind. For me, a personal choice was the commute time. It was easier to get to Amsterdam than to Breukelen, so that was for me the choice to go for Amsterdam. What I really loved about Nyenrode in general, and what we did in Amsterdam was, for instance, we had a lecture on on the canals in Amsterdam, because outside lectures were allowed. So we went outside and got the lecture there. So that was actually very inventive and very nice, and something that only could be done in Amsterdam.
Oh, that sounds very nice. And what about the student association?
Yeah, we have the JCV, and they have a lot of committees. I was part of the investing committee. That is with a group of people who are interested in the stock market. And we invited speakers on certain topics, for instance, on the aerial space stocks, such as KLM or Boeing. And afterwards, we would decide how we would invest our stocks. Each one of us put up X amount of money into an investment fund, and we would, together would manage that fund with that group of people. So that was very, very interesting. And you come in touch with people you normally would not have access to. So that was also something that was quite interesting.
Okay, and did you also have other events with the JCV?
Yeah, we of course have the gala every year that is held, and you are also invited to the activities that the NCV has on Breukelen, the Student Association on Breukelen. After lectures, you often go out into a bar. The teacher once in a while joins you as well, so the lectures continue even after they're done, and yeah, that's something you only find at Nyenrode.
Okay, well, thank you very much. So this was about the Amsterdam campus, and now we're going to show you more about the Breukelen campus. So, the biggest difference with the Breukelen campus is that you actually live on campus. You live together, You cook together, you study together, you sport together. It is a beautiful campus with a historical estate, and there is a castle of the 13th century in it. There's also a very active student association called the NCV. But once again, we have an alumni who also studied in Breukelen. So Lucia, could you maybe share your experience with Breukelen?
Yes. To be honest, when I was applying, I had only one choice, which was Breukelen. But if you ask me, would you still choose Breukelen? Like, I would say yes. I would definitely choose Breukelen. Personal reasons, I would say I lived in I lived in Seoul, so which was a very busy and hectic city. And I was a person who really wanted to get out of that environment and quite just focus on my studies. So Breukelen was actually better for me, I would say. It has a really green environment. You can actually do everything on campus, actually. And for Breukelen, it's also it was very attractive because Breukelen offers the dormitories. So that was also the main part why I chose Breukelen. How I experienced it, every day is dynamic. Every day is different. It's the most difficult thing of living in Breukelen is balancing your time. So you need to balance your time with your studies and also with your life outside of your campus, but also you need to do a lot of things in campus as well. You need to do a lot of community works, but also your projects, your tests. Every 2 months you have a test, so that's also a quite difficult thing to manage while you live on campus, and there are so many attractive things around you. So what I really learned about during the Breukelen, living in Breukelen is how to decide my priorities and where to put my priorities in. It could be a bubble. It could be a big bubble of people next to you for 1 year or for sometimes more than a year. But in the end, you definitely make friends for life. And I also made my friends for life, which I still call.
Well, I see Floor is nodding here as well, so that's good to see. And can you maybe tell us more about the student association?
NCV, yes. It's a newer company from Vere. It's a big association. Many people might think of Breukelen and also directly think about the committees. I think we had almost 50 committees. I don't know how many are there now, but because there are so many different kinds of committees, it is also a great chance to express your talents during your life at night. Not only about the academic part, but for example, if you get into a jazz night committee, for example, then you get to touch a great number of financial things too. Like that's also an experience for the business program. So those kind of things are that's where you can experience before you go to the real world, real job market. So and since I mentioned about jazz night, yes, NCV has a lot of festivals too. Every block you have a block fest in the on campus. We have jazz night, which is the year gala, and also the town feest, which is a festival for the beginning of the academic year. So there's a lot of fun things going on for sure.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your answer. We're going to go on. You might think, okay, we've heard so much, so what is the investment? And here you can see the investment. You can find this information also on our website and on our brochure. So, what are your plans after the MSc in Management? We have been speaking a lot, so I'm very curious about you. So write in the chat what your plans are after your MSc. But what about you, Floris? What did you do after your MSc?
It was quite a journey for me. After I graduated, there were elections in the Netherlands. I'm also political active, so I went straight ahead and go into the elections and work on that. After that, I worked for a year at the Farmers Association here in the Netherlands during the farmers' protest. So that was also a very very nice year. And after that, I thought, there's not much growing opportunity for me here. So I looked around what I wanted to do, and I ended up at a family company and decided to take it over. So we're in the middle of that process right now.
Oh, that's very exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting. I see that people on the chat do not really know yet. Some people would like to go to consultancy. Let's look what our Nyenrodians do. So 90% of our Nyenrodians find a job within 4 months after graduation. They go a bit everywhere. They go into consultancy, such as PwC. They go into banking, such as ING or ABN, or they go to other companies, such as Heineken, Unilever, and other companies. Also, we have quite a lot of entrepreneurs, and quite a few also go back to Amsterdam in the incubator. So are you enthusiastic? Are you excited? And you think, I would like to apply? Great. So here you can find the admissions requirements. And I would like to point out on the last point. A GMAT, a GRE, or a Nyenrode's LTP test is required. A GMAT or GRE are general management admission tests, and they test your academic skills, your analytic skills, and other skills. But you can also do the Nyenrode's LTP test. This is an EQ-IQ test, and it requires less preparation than a GMAT or a GRE. However, the LTP test can only be taken once, so make sure you prepare well, and if you fail the LTP test, it's always possible to go back to the GMAT or the GRE. If you have any questions regarding the admissions requirements, feel free to scan the QR code which you see on your screen and book in a session with either myself or Naomi. We will be happy to talk to you about your personal admissions requirements and about your past. Revolving scholarships. So we also have some scholarships. So once you have been accepted to the program, you can also apply. So currently we have 6 scholarships, as you can see. Revolving scholarships mean that an older student is currently investing in you, and the idea is that in the future, once you finish your MSc, once you have a steady job, that you reinvest that money into another student to make sure it's revolving and that people keep helping each other out. However, we also have some really exciting news. We are organizing a business game. This is in April 5th and 6th. And if you scan that QR code, you have more information about it. But we would like to let you, we would also like to let you know that for those who come by plane, under strict conditions, Nyenrode will be willing to pay back the plane tickets. Once again, make sure you have a meeting with either Naomi and myself, and we can make sure you understand all those conditions properly. But Lucia, I thought you did the business game, right?
Yes, I did the business game.
Can you maybe tell us more about it?
Yes. First, I did have a one-on-one session also before applying for the business game. So I really highly recommend you guys all have some one-on-one session with the marketeers or the recruiters because it gives you more of a feeling, do I really fit into this school or not? And once I was invited to the business game, I had the feeling that I really want to go to this school. So it's a really nice chance to get to know about Nyenrode, and also get a lecture from a professor. And of course, it's a chance for you to get a scholarship because you will be solving a business case in front of professors and also the professionals that are invited in that for the game. And once you win the game as a group, I think back then it was in a group, but also you get a scholarship, of course, individually. But it's a really nice chance. Yeah.
Well, currently it is individually, but in the past it was as a group.
Yeah.
So, are you still enthusiastic? What is next? Well, get personalized advice and start your application. We would also like to share some of the key dates with you. So we have an early bird deadline, which is on the 25th of March. We also have a scholarship application deadline, which is also the 25th of March. This is because you can only apply for a scholarship if you are an early bird. The final application deadline for internationals who need a visa is the 1st of June, and for those who do not need a visa is the 15th of June. All in all, the program starts in August. Well, I would love to invite now my colleague, Naomi Flipse. Hi, Naomi.
Hi, Wendy. For the people at home, my name is Naomi, and I also work as a program advisor, just like Wendy. So I think it's time to answer some questions.
Yes, so if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. They can be for Lucia, for Floris, or for us. Feel free to write them down. We'll be happy to answer them. But while we wait, I do have a first question. Floris, Lucia, what do you think is the main difference between Amsterdam and Breukelen?
Shall I go first?
Please go first.
The biggest difference, I think you highlighted that already, is that in Breukelen you live on campus and your life during the week is revolved around Nyenrode, and in Amsterdam you get a more regular university experience. So that's the key difference, I think.
Okay. Do you agree, Lucia?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with that, yes. I actually wanted to answer one of the questions. There's a question, I live in Utrecht and therefore was wondering if it's mandatory to live at the Breukelen campus. If I may answer. There was a very small number of students, like 1 or 2 students who actually lived outside of campus.
But currently,
They studied in Breukelen, yeah.
currently it is mandatory. Everyone must live on campus. Yes. So even if you live in Utrecht, you must live on campus. So we do have another question here. When does the program start? Naomi?
So the program starts in August. So mid-August you start with some mandatory introduction weeks, and after that you will start with the pre-master.
Okay, thank you. We have some questions regarding the English level. So what level of English do I need? And would a native English speaker qualify for an exemption?
Yes, so if you are a native English speaker, you can qualify for an exemption for the, you have the Cambridge or the TOEFL. So Cambridge needs to be level C1. Also, if you have a bachelor degree fully taught in English, and you can prove that to us, and you've also written a thesis in English, then you can also be exempted from this requirement. But please check that with us if you are in doubt.
So I have another question here. Is the pre-master mandatory?
So the pre-master is mandatory for everyone that has a bachelor degree in University of Applied Sciences. That can be any degree, and then you have to do the pre-master to really have the basis of your academic knowledge and also the basis of the foundations of management. It's also mandatory for students that have a bachelor degree in a research university, so WO. If it's if it's a degree not related to business. In some cases, if you, for example, studied business administration on a research university, sometimes it can be possible to be exempted from some of the courses, or in very few cases even the full pre-master. But please note that admissions make this decision, so please apply, hand in your full application, and then they can let you know whether you're exempted or not.
Okay, thank you.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah, of course.
Even if you are exempted for doing the pre-master, I would highly recommend doing at least 1 or 2 courses in the pre-master, because the becoming a group starts already in the pre-master, and like 90% of the people who are doing the masters are also in the pre-master, so you miss out on a group bonding experience. So I would highly recommend doing at least 1 or 2 of the courses that you think is interesting.
I think it's a good advice, and you can also join the student association already and make friends, and I think that's also a big part of Nyenrode. Yeah.
So we also have a question regarding the incubator. What kind of startup ideas, business ideas are being discussed in Amsterdam Incubator? So, do you want to tell more about the incubator?
I can tell a little bit more about it. So the incubator is a community in Amsterdam, so right in our office, of startups. And in the company there has to be at least one of one alumni of Nyenrode. And we have some examples. So for example, Farm Brothers, maybe you know the cookies. They have started in the incubator, and they started really small, and now they are in every Albert Heijn and Jumbo. So that's really cool. And what other companies did we have? We have 2 girls that started a self-tanning lotion, I think, to raise awareness for how bad for your health the sunbathing actually is. And do you know another example?
Daily Flowers.
Daily Flowers, indeed. So you
Jamie?
can come with a number of ideas, and you can just pitch it to our program director and one of the teachers, and then they you will go through a selection process, and then you can get an office space in the incubator.
But this happens after your master, once you're an alumni and you want to have a startup yourself.
Yeah, and it doesn't always have to be right after your master. It can also be a couple of years later, for example.
Exactly. We have a question here about Amsterdam. Does Nyenrode have housing in Amsterdam? Do you know that, Floris?
I didn't use it myself, but in Diemen they have a location where for the Amsterdam students they have housing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. We have our domain, it's called. It's in Diemen, and there we have some studios, apartments. It's also a small campus, so you will be living there with other Nyenrode students, but also students from the Universiteit van Amsterdam and the Vrije Universiteit. And you can just apply for the program and then mention that you want to have to apply for a room there.
Very good. We also have a question regarding the summer school. Did you do the summer school or did you not do the summer school?
I did do the summer school.
Do you recommend it?
Yes. The group bonding project, the group bonding already starts when you first meet each other. So the earlier you start meeting each other, the better it is, I found.
Okay. So here the question is, do you recommend to do the summer school? Your answer is yes.
Yes. And then you also already get a bit of taste what Nyenrode is like. Because it's not like regular university. There are some key differences. And in the summer school you can get used to it. And you already have some lectures. You really get into to the learning mindset.
Mm-hmm.
The way of teaching, is that also different? Or?
Well, at least the teachers are different. They often have their own experiences in the working field and then become teacher or have their own company and do teaching as a side job. So the teachers are usually different and also have different teaching methods than usual universities, in my experience.
Okay. We have some questions regarding the scholarship. If I want to apply for a scholarship, what should I do?
There are a couple of things you need to do. If you visit the scholarship page, you can see the different types of scholarship there are, and you have to apply to one that feels closest to yourself, and then write a motivation letter for this. So really motivate why you need this money and for what you want to do this master. And next to that, you need to set up a financial plan, and you can find a template on the same page. So you can find a template and fill out all the numbers, and then you can see that how much scholarship you need.
And does the scholarship cover the entire tuition?
No, unfortunately not. It covers 10,000, maximum of 10,000. It depends on how much you need, but the maximum is 10,000.
Okay, very good. Is the Nyenrode IQ test a paid test?
Yes, it is already in the application fee. The application fee is €300. If you apply before the early bird, so before 25th of March, and you start the program, then this will be deducted from your first payment. Yeah.
We also have another question here. Do you have a more exact start date than mid-August, because it's a bit of a large range? Currently, we do not have an exact start date, but as soon as we know, it will be communicated on the website. And if you let us know, we will make sure we send you as well an email. Another question. When does the Nyenrode IQ test take place?
Good question. As soon as you have filled out your full application and you handed it in, your application goes to admissions, to our colleague Vanessa, and she will contact you via email, and then you get more information on the LTP and a link where you can schedule your own test. So you can schedule it whenever you like, and so please choose a date that you feel ready for it. You have only one shot, so do it whenever you feel good about it. If you're feeling a bit sick that day, just reschedule it.
Very good. I have a question for Floris. Floris, what did you learn in the master that you currently use in your job? Ooh, good question.
The first story that comes to mind was a story that was told by one of the lecturers. And I will shorten it a bit, but it was a quite long story. She was called in to help a business because they had a venture in another country, and that venture didn't go well. And she was asked to give advice on that. And she looked in why did they go to that country. I didn't remember what the country was. But eventually she found out that the sole reason that company started their venture in that country was because someone knew someone in that country. They didn't do any market research. They didn't do any research on productivity or on electricity. The fabric that they built didn't have any electricity. So there were a lot of steps that were missed in going abroad. And every time I doing business, I always think, what is the real reason I'm wanting to do this? To not make the mistake of only going abroad to a country or do something else because it's convenient. Mm-hmm. That was the thing that I took out that springs to mind.
Okay, I think that's a good story.
Yeah.
How many students are in a class together? Maybe you can answer that one too.
We had 60 students approximately in Amsterdam, and because of COVID they were divided in two groups. I'm not sure how it is now, but you will know everyone within like a month or something. You have a lot of group projects together. And they mix it up quite a lot, and outside of the university you also have a lot of contact with your fellow students, so you will know each one of them within a matter of time. So,
what about you, Lucia? Because you didn't study during COVID, how many people were in your class?
It's different per courses actually. So when you take the pre-master, sometimes it's like 40 to 60 people in one class, but as you go into more depth through the specializations, then it's 20 people in one class. So it's different per courses.
Okay. Very clear. And what is the workload like? Was it a heavy workload or how was it?
It was manageable. But you really have to start on time with everything. You can get, I had lectures on Monday that I needed to know for Friday when the exam was due. So it is a workload that you need planning for, but it's for sure manageable.
Okay.
Yeah, if I may add something small. We usually advise students to, in the beginning, not take a big side job or have to spend a lot of time on something else, just to see how much time you have left. So please focus on your pre-master courses first, and then see how much time you have left to do maybe a job or an internship, because you have to pass the pre-master to start the master.
Good point. Yeah. I also see here another question. What courses are being offered during the summer school? And when does that start? Maybe you can tell us more about the summer school. Which courses did you have?
I actually don't remember, sorry.
then I can say something about it. So it focuses on statistics and academic English. So it really gives you a great kickstart to the pre-master, because everything will be in English. And yeah, maybe you have forgotten a little bit about the statistics that you had in your bachelor. So it's really great to refresh that. Yeah, and also to start bonding with your classmates.
No,
I
you
think
say that, that's
yeah.
true.
I have another question for Floris. Could you describe your social life in Amsterdam during the masters? How often did you meet up with fellow students?
Social life. Well, at least once a week we went to the bar after lectures with some fellow students, and the professor once in a while joined in. And we met up after class a lot for the group projects, because that was one of the things where we could meet each other very good. And I had to commute a lot, of course, because I went from home to Amsterdam every day, and I did that with a few fellow students. So that's also part of the life in Amsterdam.
Okay.
And then, of course, all the activities of the JCV that are fitted around in your schedule. If you have an afternoon free, chances are high one of the committees of the JCV will plan an activity to visit a company or a guest lecture or whatever.
Nice.
Okay. Those are the last questions I see in the chat. So if you have any other questions, please feel free to scan the QR code, which you can also see on the screen, but also in the chat. Make sure you book a personal consultation with either Naomi or myself. We will be happy to help you. Oh, we have one more question maybe. Let's wait a minute to see if the question is coming.
Oh, he's going. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, that's nice. So I was wondering, can you already start on the pre-master if you're still finishing courses of your bachelor? So imagine I would still do courses of my bachelor next year. Can I already start on doing the pre-master?
Yeah, I can say something about this. It is possible. However, yeah, we do not encourage it because of the workload. However, if you, for example, need to get one last grade or one last small assignment that you feel you can do next to the pre-master, it is possible, but of course it is your own risk of starting the pre-master and paying for that and then passing for your bachelor. So yeah.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes,
Yeah.
it answers my question.
Okay.
Thank you. And I have one more question if there's still time.
Of course.
Is there a possibility of being present during a lecture one time to see how a lecture is being given and how that works?
Yes, we have days with a student. I don't know if the link can be shared in the chat, but we have 2 more dates, February 1 and 2, and otherwise we will share it via email this evening or tomorrow morning. And we will add more dates to this soon. So that is possible, and please contact us again if you cannot find it. We can help you to get here. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Can I maybe add one more thing?
Yeah.
I was thinking a bit about the social life of Nyenrode and so, but Nyenrode is also what you stop in it, you get out of it. If you are very passive, Nyenrode provides, of course, some services and activities, but the more active you are, the more active the student life and the professors will interact with you. If you have questions, approach the teachers. They will happily answer your questions. So it is really how much energy you put in it, you will get in return. That's maybe also something good to know.
Yeah. So even though you don't live at the location in Amsterdam, it's still nice to be there as much as possible, I think, right?
Yeah,
to experience everything.
Yeah.
Well, on this note, I think that's a great way to end our webinar. Thank you very much for joining today. Feel free to scan the QR code, and a big thank you to Lucia and Floris for joining us today. Thank you, and hope to see you soon.